called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's
Sunny Hostin just got hit with a brutal reality check on live TV. And this wasn't some polite debate. It was a full-on takedown from both Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly. Honestly, it was so intense. Daytime TV might need new rules after this. 1. Moment. Sunny was relaxed on The View, sipping her tea like she was in control. The next, she was stunned, looking down at her cue cards like she'd just been blindsided with some serious news.
They're disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate.
So what sparked all this? Picture a TV moment so intense, it made regular talk shows look like quiet Sunday service. Bill Maher brought his signature sharp sarcasm, while Megyn Kelly delivered cool, calculated responses. And together, they turned Sunny's segment into a complete takedown. This wasn't a conversation, it was a verbal showdown. Sunny came in unprepared, while they brought facts, focus, and full control. That platform she usually stands on, it started to crumble fast. By the time it was over, Sunny looked stunned, like she'd just opened an email with bad news she didn't see coming.
I want to talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before. Sure. So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no fucking thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But
let's talk about one of Sunny Hostin's go-to moves, bringing up her law degree like it's her golden ticket to win every argument. She treats her resume like a badge of honor, constantly reminding viewers she's a former federal prosecutor. And sure, that's impressive, but the way she uses it, not so much. Anytime she starts with "as a lawyer," you can almost guarantee it's going to be either inaccurate, overly simplistic, or delivered with a tone that rubs people the wrong way. Sometimes it's all three at once. It's like she's giving a courtroom lecture without the actual case. No facts, just heavy-handed opinions and moral lectures. No matter the topic, from memes to mayonnaise, Sunny finds a way to turn it into a deep dive on injustice. A funny video becomes a political statement. A recipe becomes a social issue. She's basically the TV version of outrage culture. Loud, intense, and always ready to overanalyze the moment.
That hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections, 4 legal notes. Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side. And then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern.
And here's the real moment that said it all. Even Whoopi looked like she was silently praying for the segment to end. That iconic side eye? It spoke volumes. You could almost hear her thinking, not this again. While Sunny was trying to turn a simple salad recipe into a civil rights issue, the whole discussion slipped away from her. She didn't just lose the debate, she completely lost control. And what was left? That familiar scowl that says, I'm not angry, I'm just deeply disappointed in all of you. Now look, there's nothing wrong with strong opinions, but Sunny turns every segment into a dramatic solo performance. Part courtroom lecture, part personal soapbox. She's not having a discussion, she's giving a sermon like the rest of us forgot to do our homework. But here's the catch. Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly don't get caught up in that kind of show. They cut through it with facts, wit, and calm reasoning. And just like that, Sunny's polished delivery turned into a clumsy monologue. No applause, no reaction, just silence.
Any term you want. Okay. Because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know, want to call it the super far left? But don't tell me the left
had the super far right. Well, he's talking about the left. Well, then
okay, but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of adjusting, Sunny doubled down, raising her voice and gesturing wildly, like louder meant stronger. Meanwhile, Bill Maher sat back like a professor grading a freshman essay titled Why I'm Always Right. He didn't even have to interrupt. Her argument collapsed under its own weight. Each buzzword she threw out only made things worse. By the end, it wasn't a debate. It was a one-woman meltdown, all drama, no logic. And just when it couldn't get more awkward, Maher and Kelly stepped in. Calm, cold, and sharp. No shouting. Just pure precision. She picked apart Sunny's act like peeling laminate off a knockoff bag. Beneath it, nothing but recycled outrage and tired talking points. Sunny's used to preaching, not debating. But this time, someone finally popped. The bubble.
And finally, new rule. Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Total collapse. This wasn't a simple fumble. It was an ideological wipeout. Sunny's high horse bucked her mid-sentence, and without real substance, even a quiet fact hits like a wrecking ball. Megyn didn't raise her voice. She just pointed out the obvious, and Sunny's whole act crumbled like a prop in a budget courtroom drama. And let's be real. Megyn Kelly's mere presence seems to set Sunny off. The moment her name drops, Sunny's pitch jumps like she's allergic to facts. Megyn's real offense? Speaking in calm, fact-based sentences. That kind of clarity is like black magic on The View, where facts without drama are basically forbidden.
They had a discussion on The View about world superpowers from the sound of it. That's how they got into it. And Sunny Hostin made some comments about patriotism and America and Black America. It's all in there, Jason. I mean, it's all in there. I'm going to tee it up. It starts with Alyssa Farah, who's supposed to be the Republican commentator. And then you'll hear Sunny jump in. Listen.
If America is not the #1 global power, it's not going to be Denmark. It's going to be communist China, a country that right now the government is imprisoning Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps. It is a deeply racist government. It's a human rights violating government. It is a government that if they are the leader of the free world, we are not a free world the way that we are right now.
The notion of patriotism and the notion of America and the American flag has been co-opted by the right as if they are true patriots. Mm-hmm. But when I listen to Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, he said white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to this country.
While Sunny gets worked up over the latest threat to democracy, delivered with dramatic flair, Megyn Kelly stays calm and grounded. She cites sources, shares stats, and speaks with clarity, which, on that panel, might as well be black magic. Sunny, meanwhile, leans hard into theatrics, emotional rants, dramatic gestures, and statements that feel more like performances than arguments. Megyn responds with cold, fact-based points that cut right through the noise. It's like showing up to a chess game with a glitter pen and expecting everyone to play along. Each time Megyn counters with logic or a historical fact, Sunny gets louder but less clear. Her fallback? Moral outrage. It's like she's hoping if she sounds passionate enough, no one will notice the argument fell apart 5 minutes ago.
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of The View.
January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slave.
And let's talk about Sunny's personal war on comedy. For someone who constantly references her legal background and social awareness, she reacts to a simple joke like it's a crime against humanity. Sarcasm, offensive. Satire, problematic. A punchline, clearly an attack on democracy. It's 2025, and Sunny still hasn't grasped that comedians, well, joke. That's their whole job. Expecting Bill Maher not to roast people is like walking into a bakery and getting mad they sell bread. Every time Maher cracks a smirk, Sunny goes into full meltdown mode. You'd think he recited her childhood diary live on air. The gasp, the side-eye, the dramatic sigh, it's all too predictable. But here's the thing. Being offended doesn't make something illegal. And just because you didn't laugh doesn't mean the joke didn't land.
I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sunny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking about the word woke.
The term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice. Who's not for that? But words do.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
One day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended because you know who showed up.
Yeah.
And he was, whether he was asked or not. This is a man who didn't care what happened to the officers on January 6th.
She promotes Joe Biden and Kamala Harris every day on that show. Trump wasn't supportive enough of the cops who were, yes, in danger on J 6th. How does that explain their behavior on a daily basis?
Last week you called white Republican women cockroach.
Actually, I didn't. And
you said they're acting like cockroaches.
I used in a similar
rhetoric.
Let me answer that.
Okay.
I used a metaphor. Here's what I'm going to ask you all to do. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to tone it down a bit because I can't hear anything. No one can hear what's being said.
She just said I called white women
roaches.
All right, we're going to go to break. We're going to break. Can't tell.
And by the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you disagree with me?